welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Jay and Hater Podcast.
Welcome back, protectors of peace. How you doing this week?
Hey man, I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better because I don't know what I had earlier this week, but it had me down. My stomach was all toe up, but I'm better now.
Hey, I'm glad
I'm better now.
You heard me seeing you over there all fucked up.
I was fucked up, y'all. I was on the couch for like days. I don't know what I ate, but anyway, shout out to Sonic with the pickle fries because them things was good. They probably were what made me sick, but they were good.
I'm gonna say, man,
get them again.
Hey, them things probably tore you up.
They did, but they was good as shit. Anyways. This is not sponsored by Sonic. However, if you want to sponsor us, please let us know. Cause
I don't know, man. You just said they tore your stomach up. I don't know if they're gonna be calling. I think
probably not, but I'm gonna get them again anyways.
Damn, boy, risk it all.
Risk it all, man. Fat.
So since you been laying on the couch, what you was watching?
Man, check it. So I caught up on Bridgerton. Bridgerton is done. I finally finished season 2. Stepped into the show called The Ultimatum. It is funny because at first, I think we finished Love is Blind season 2, I was like, what, The Ultimatum? That sounds stupid as shit.
I was like, I ain't watching this shit.
Oh my God.
Like,
you said you weren't watching it. I said I wasn't watching it. Next thing you know, I'm watching the shit, and it was so good. It's so messy.
Tell them about the show. Tell them what it is.
So the basis of the show is like there's these, I think it's like 4 or 5 couples. I don't even know the number anymore. And the basis of the show is that there's one person in that couple who is giving the other one an ultimatum because they're like, look, we've been together for 2 years.
Yeah, about 2
and I feel like we
years.
need to be married. So by the end of this show, you need to either propose to me or we're broken up. First of all, I don't know if it's because I'm at the good old young age of 30. How old am I? 37?
Yeah,
good old young age of once you get in your 30s, you forget how old you are. It don't matter. You just know you old enough. Anyways, so at me at the ripe old age of I'm gonna be 37 today because I can't think. 2 years, and they're like, either you marry me or we're not together.
And they be wanting kids,
and they're like everything. 23, 24.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the whole point of the show is, I'm giving you this ultimatum. We're on the show because by the end of the show, we need to be married. You need to propose to me. We need to be engaged to be married. And what they do is they have like these 5-6 couples.
You gotta give them the hook.
And slight spoiler alert, they have these 5-6 couples. And what they do is the couples swap for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, for 3 weeks
you
they go
figure
live
out
with
who
somebody
you want to
else.
spend, who you want to be pretend married to for the next 3 weeks, and then you move into an apartment with them and you live with them. You think they may be better for you, or your partner may think they may be better for them for 3 weeks, and then you move back in with each other for another 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and then at the end of it, you decide if, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and marry you because this was some bullshit, or nah, I don't want to be with you no more. I want to go home, girl.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but the craziest parts of it was like when they was like dating each other, like they was telling the business to the people that the people came with.
Listen,
that's when I was like, wait a minute, like, didn't he come over here? I think that's what hooked me.
I ain't gonna lie.
Emotional. I was like, this shit is stupid. Why would anybody participate in this shit? And then when I was like, wait a minute, what? I mean, I was over there like reading shit on my iPad, and I was like, wait, they dating? Like they going on like speed dating with each other?
And then to be like, it'll be like their first date with somebody new, and they'll be like holding hands.
Yeah.
Why are you touching her legs?
And the other person was like, hey, why you? I know I'm sitting with this cat, but what you doing over there?
I know I'm sitting here dating this other dude, but why you over there laughing so fucking loud?
Man.
Like it was a hot ass mess, and it made me think, because you know ultimatums aren't necessarily a new thing, but it made me think like, what about ultimatums in relationships? And that's kind of how we came to our topic this week. Like ultimatums in relationships and how beneficial they may be, how detrimental they may be. So yeah, this week we're gonna talk about ulti-fucking-matums.
Hey, let's do it, man. Cause after we watched the show, man, I was like,
crazy. Y'all gotta watch it. I don't want to give too many spoilers.
This may be one of the few times in life that we won't spoil something for you on accident. So please take it. Like
y'all need to see it.
Just watch it, man.
Because it's
on Netflix, by the way.
Now listen.
Right there, right?
Yes, it's on Netflix. Now listen, if you're already in a type of situation where you feel like you need to give your man or your girl an ultimatum, be careful. Watch this show. But if you're in a very healthy relationship, watch it because it's messy. Oh, it's so messy. But anyway,
I ain't gonna lie, man. I realized a couple of my niggas was watching it because they slipped up and said something. I'm like, oh, you watching that shit too, so we can talk about it. You know, I'm like, boy, let me tell you about that. Boy, let me tell you.
Exactly. So, ultimatum. So, you know, we've said the word like 20 million times right now. So, what is the actual definition of an ultimatum? So, ultimatum is like a final demand or a statement of terms, and the rejection of those terms will result in like retaliation or breakdown in relations. Like, well, if you don't do this by this date, or if you don't do this, then I'm out.
Yeah.
So,
if you don't sign Little Johnny's child support papers by the 31st, boy, I'm gonna send you to jail.
I mean, that can be a form of ultimatum. But so ultimatums in relationships, I feel like they can help, but they can also hurt.
Yeah, man.
So from your perspective, how do you feel that ultimatums can hurt? Like, for example, this ultimatum was in the show, we need to be engaged, or, you know, married, engaged to be married, or we're breaking up. As a man, how do you take ultimatums? Because usually, I'm not saying this all the time, but usually you hear women giving ultimatums. So as a man, how do you feel about those?
I'm just going to go ahead and just throw myself all the way over, under, around, through the side of the bus.
Okay.
Like on speed.
Okay.
Like, I was issued an ultimatum, right?
Okay.
About, hey, we need to get married by, or engaged by, like, end of the year.
That wasn't me?
No. But I was like, in my head, I was like, dog, I thought this was something that I should feel like I want to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not like, hey, man. You know, and to me, like, growing up, I've always been, you know, a line stepper. So to me, it's like, oh.
You're a habitual line stepper.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to do this?
Okay, so I need to do it by this day. I'll do it the day after.
Okay.
And.
But how did that make you feel? Like, how did that really make you feel, though?
It made me feel almost like cornered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, how can you not, though?
Because it's not like I don't want to be with you, or, you know, whatever the situation may be. But damn, we're like, why do I gotta, like, why we gotta do it the way that you want to do it? I guess that's the way that I feel.
And the thing with ultimatums is, it's like, you have one person that's like, no, this is what I require. And you're almost forcing the other person to do this. And my thing is, if you were already kind of like, okay, well, yeah, I do want to eventually get engaged, but we got to do it like right now. Like, I feel like it's just
like right now, like
when it comes to being
everything's going so good.
Right. And then also because we had this conversation a couple of days ago, where you mentioned that people don't think about when couples get engaged, the man may already be in some type of debt because he has to buy the ring first. So it's like, you need to propose to me. Well, damn, bitch, I'm trying to save my money for a ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing too. Like, I'm not making excuses for nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you can only speak for yourself.
We just having a conversation. We just having a conversation, right? But that's tricky too. Like, being a dude. I know we kind of getting a little off topic, right?
Not really.
But it's like, I don't want to get you nothing, no bullshit. And then I know, because I've heard a bunch of females like, yeah, that nigga proposed, but look at this bullshit. Look how small it is. I can't even see it. And then it gets back to him, and it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to feel?
Right. It's like, so do you want to be engaged, or you want me to save my money to bring you? You know, I make $18 an hour.
But not even just that. But it's like, okay, let's say that I spend, I don't know, I'm just gonna give a number, right? Let's say if I spend $4,000 on a ring, I look at it like I'm already $4,000 in the hole.
If you didn't just pay straight cash for it, yeah. And
now we planning for this wedding and trying to give you everything that you want.
Right. And then so now I gotta pay for a wedding plus still make these payments.
So that's what I mean, like with the ultimatum, like, especially if you know that if the person is not financially in a place too, is that like, damn, like, yo, like, I'm gonna have to come out a lot of bread really quickly.
Very quickly. Yeah.
It was like, if I got it, I mean, I got to pick up something else. Like, maybe I don't want to work 2 jobs. Not everybody want to work 2 jobs, people. Goddamn.
It sucks, dog. It sucks. No, but I get it, and I'm not. I will say when I was younger, I never thought about it that way until we had that conversation the other day, and you brought it up, and I was like, well, yeah, because the cost of the ring never gets factored into like wedding planning or anything like that. So and that's on solely on the man or the proposer, because nowadays women are proposing to men. I can go do that. To each his own, to each her own. But I feel like when it comes to ultimatums, I feel like when it comes to like, oh, we need to be married by this time or this and that, whatever the ultimatum is, you have to kind of be very, very careful when you actually set that ultimatum, that expectation, especially if you haven't previously communicated that this is something that I want by a certain amount of time. But even then, it's, I hate when people say, oh, well, in relationships you compromise. No, usually one person kind of...
Yeah, one person probably compromises
one person either compromises and the other person sacrifices what they want.
Oh, I ain't think about it like that. If you really
think about it. Depending on the situation, one person is more than like... Or both. Depending on what you're compromising
Everybody's
sacrificing and nobody's getting 100% of what they want. So, it's just... I don't know.
Have you ever issued an ultimatum?
In my former life, in my younger life, yeah, I have. And there have also been times where I've issued ultimatums. Well, I've had an ultimatum in my brain, but not actually told that person.
Oh,
that's very toxic as fuck. It is. So and I was younger, so that's different.
So let me ask you from that standpoint, like once an ultimatum deadline have crossed, like what goes through your mind?
And see, that's the thing with setting ultimatum, because you have to be, what is it, steadfast? You have to be like steadfast. Firm. That's a good word for that. You have to be firm in your look. If I'm requesting that A doesn't happen, that A needs to happen by B timeline. If it doesn't happen by B timeline, am I gonna be willing to do the next step?
Yeah.
Am I gonna stay with my decision and be like, well, if you don't do this, I'm out. Am I really going to be out? And that's what a lot of people don't think about, because when it comes to ultimatums, you're literally like, you have to do this.
Because you also giving yourself one.
Exactly. It's not just for that person. It's for you too. So you have to be ready for the outcomes of the different potential outcomes of that ultimatum. Yeah. So like, let's say if I gave you an ultimatum and I was like, if we're not married by November 20th, then I'm out. Okay, and if November 20th comes and there's no ring, then what? Because you have to be ready for that situation.
Because like I said, in my head, I'm be like, my nigga, I ain't no punk. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't just gonna tell me what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, shit. Well, I'll wait till next year, son.
You know what? And then, so this like, okay, so once November 21st comes, well, bitch, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna be looking at you like this.
You said you was gonna leave, then leave.
What we eat for dinner, boo-boo?
But I feel like ultimatums wouldn't necessarily have to happen if you establish your boundaries and openly communicate.
Yeah.
So, for example, because I know some women that are like, listen, I don't want to date more than 2 years. Once 2 years hits, you need to know if you want to marry me or not, because I'm not out here wasting time. So, I mean, at least that way, you know, in the dating phase, is that something that you want to pursue, or is that your way of being like, let me go on and bow out gracefully?
Kind of like kids, man.
Right. If someone said, that's another good ultimatum, and that was actually one of the ultimatums in the show where this guy wanted to marry his girlfriend, but he really wanted kids.
Yeah. And
so that's another thing. You know, what's your boundary? If you know that you do not want kids and you know that this person does and they want to marry you, well, look, I don't want kids. I don't want to compromise on that. Yeah. So if your ultimatum is either we have kids or we're out, I'm telling you I don't want kids, and you have to respect that. You have to think what will happen if your expectations are not met because of the ultimatum that you gave. And the ultimatum is very strong.
Yeah, boy.
It's very serious.
And that's why I used to step on that line, because I ain't no punk. I just wanted to know I ain't no punk. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't no
And I'm
punk.
one of those, I said what I mean and I mean what I say.
Okay, then
we communicate enough to where there shouldn't be an ultimatum that happens.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be very weird at the end of the day, because I'm like, well, I said
we're both going to be looking at each other like,
I said what I said. Well, I said what I said. So yes,
you know
communication. I feel like as long as you're openly communicating with your partner. Now, ultimatums can be good if like the behavior is like destructive, or abusive, or if it's like, look, you drinking too much and you acting too crazy on a Tuesday night. You have got to get that under control.
Bro, you watch too much porn and we just buy too much lotion.
I'm tired of you jacking your shit.
Boy, you all raw and shit.
And you late for work because you jacking your shit.
And you call.
Something like.
The police don't caught you and shit.
I feel like you know somebody. But
I do.
But something like that, I feel like if the behavior is destructive and it's detrimental to the relationship or to the situation, then yeah, you may have to get to the point where you're like, this is my last straw. I have to issue this ultimatum.
Now, let me ask you something. Like, I know we're talking about like in the realm of relationships, right? But do you think that also works like with friends too?
You know what? It can.
Be like, bitch, look,
it can.
I know a lot of bad stuff happened to you, but I need you to stop talking bad about stuff all the time.
Talking bad about stuff? What do you mean? Give me an example.
I'm just like, man, y'all always complaining all the time. You know what I mean? Like, people are just,
you know, like, and again, I feel like that's where, you know, when I was younger, people used to always say communication is key, and I'm like, that can't be it, nigga. That is it. Communication is it. So I feel like if you're really good friends with someone and you openly communicate and let them know kind of how you feel, and not just sugarcoat everything and be like their yes man or their yes woman or their yes person or whatever, then I feel like they should also know. But yeah, I feel like ultimatums can be given in friendships, whether it's destructive behavior or just sometimes you're like, look, I fuck with you, but you are so draining. You never have nothing positive to say. Or I feel like you're not really my friend because you're always so negative, or I feel like you're always in competition with me.
I don't think as a man that I've ever given like a dude, like say my bro, like
you just stop fucking with him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like,
yeah. I don't want to say ultimatums are more of a feminine type thing, but you hear about it more often. Because even on the show, there was one of the couples, the guy, the man was the one that gave the ultimatum.
Oh yeah.
So he was shit. But anyways, you'll find out when you watch the show if you haven't already.
But I'm saying, like I guess like in a friendship type situation, like I'm trying to think of like what I would like if I was hanging out with somebody like other than stealing some money, be like, hey bro, you better give me my $100.
Well, I mean, if that person is, if you can't really hang out with them because they're always negative, and you're just sick of it, or if they're always the one that's needy. They're the needy friend, and all they do is call you to complain, and they don't have anything positive, or they don't add any value to the. They don't
even ask you how you is.
Like, they don't even ask you how you are. Like you said, if they steal money, if they're always borrowing money, if the friendship does not serve you, you may be like, look, your actions, or if they drink too much, you know, there's different situations. But usually, I feel like ultimatums are given in relationships. Listen, you can give ultimatums within kinships with like family too.
Can you?
You can, because you grown. With your grown titty self, you can. You can.
Have you ever had to give an ultimatum to a relative?
Not necessarily an ultimatum. Well, no, I have. Where it was a boundary. I had a boundary set, and they kept pushing that boundary, and to the point I had to be like, listen, whenever we talk, whenever we interact, we need to do it this way. I'm not trying to be on some negative, some gossip shit. Listen, I love my tea. But I'm not trying to sit here and gossip about other family members. I'm not trying to do this or behave that type of way. Whenever we talk, I want us to talk about other topics. I don't want to downplay anything or downgrade anybody or talk bad about anybody. And then also, you're going to respect me when you talk to me. You're going to listen to me when you talk to me.
Yeah.
And you're not only going to call me whenever you need something.
Yeah.
If you're going to continue doing that, then we can no longer have a conversation. We can no longer have those little, you know, those little moments,
those little back and forth,
because I'm not doing that. I've had to give something like an ultimatum to a family member where I'm like, you're not going to talk to me like that. It was a boundary, but they kept stepping over that boundary. So what do? You teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
So it's like, look, if you continue to do this, then I can bow out. Yeah. I don't have to deal with you. Listen, side note, stop telling people whenever you fall out with other people, well, life is short. Yeah, life is short, and life is short for them too, especially if they're older. Life is even more shorter for them.
Boy, it's coming to a short end, boy.
So, anyways, just sidebar. But no, I feel like ultimatums can help, but if you openly communicate and set your boundaries effectively, then hopefully you wouldn't have to get to that. I feel like ultimatums are like last straw.
Because that's what I was going to say. Like, I ain't never had to really just, like, give an ultimatum to a friend, right? But I've had to give it, like, son to family members to where, like, you know, after my divorce, I was like, look, listen, I ain't saying you ain't got to stop talking to nobody. However, but I'm just saying respect everything. Right. And then once the lines were crossed, I was like, all right, that's it. We ain't even got to talk about it. We ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Right. Because you set your boundary and they cross the boundary. Yeah. So I feel like boundaries and ultimatums, there's like I don't want to say there's a gray area, but it's like once you bump up against that boundary too much, then you're kind of, I don't want to say you're forced, because you could easily be like, well, you're not respecting my boundaries, so I'm out. But if you bump up against that boundary too much, you're going to have to be like, look, either this happens or this is going to happen.
Yeah, you have to move around eventually.
So, yeah, just ultimatums, man. That show, it really makes you think.
So, let me ask you, so how can you, like, I guess, like, I know a lot of people use ultimatums as, like, last resorts, right? Mm-hmm. But how can you, like, avoid?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, you can avoid it by the open communication.
I got you.
And letting people know what your expectations are. Also listening to what their expectations may be. Because you may not be the one giving the ultimatum, but you could also be the one receiving the ultimatum. So, you know, you can't be shocked by something that you were already aware of.
I got you.
And then, you know, and some people take ultimatums and deal breakers. If it's a deal breaker, it's just a deal breaker.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? A deal breaker could be, for example, just going back to the show, and then other people feel like this too, where a deal breaker could be, I don't want kids. Just speak, I do not want kids.
Ever.
And if you're saying, well, either we're going to have kids or we're out, well, I told you I don't want kids. That's a deal breaker for me. So if you want kids, then we obviously need to.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like having that open dialogue, that open communication, expressing how you feel, and you're entitled to your feelings and what you want to do and how you want to do it, listening to your partner, that other person.
Yeah.
And if you can't come to an agreement, to terms, it's okay to separate.
Yeah, then you can get rocks. Okay,
because why would you stay in a relationship that does not serve you, that does not benefit you? There's a lot of that going on, and that is a whole other episode that we are not going to talk about this time, but we will definitely
we ain't going to tag that on this time, but we'll talk about it.
I could go all day and all night.
So we're going to have to throw that into a whole another
That's a whole other episode. But yeah, ultimatums, you know, I mean, if you have to give one, be prepared for any outcome.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for the fallout,
for it to be met, and be prepared for it not to, and what are you going to do?
We ain't saying you got to burn the nigga house down or scratch his car up or slash tires, because that shit's expensive.
You got to slash 3 of them instead of 4, because if you slash 4, then insurance will pay for a full set.
Damn, I ain't know that. Damn, give niggas free game.
You know.
Hey, if she stabbed 3, just go out there and stab another one and just be like,
bye. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that crazy bitch that got me again. Yeah, give me some Pirellis this time.
Anyway, so, yeah, ultimatum.
So, do you have a petty service announcement?
Listen, this has really been, what do they say? A bug up my ass, a grinding my gears, whatever.
Damn, a buggy ass.
Buggy ass too. Some people get bugs in the ass. Those that are on social media. Now, y'all know I'm a Facebook auntie. I prefer Facebook over all of the other social medias. I'm getting better at Instagram, but some of y'all don't realize that people know you in real life. So you're making these posts, and you're talking about these subjects. I'm a bad bitch, but your mattress is on the floor and you don't know who your baby daddies are. But okay, and you have never had a real job. I'm just saying, be careful what you post on social media, because there are some people that know you in real life. And also, sidebar, people with two profiles, and they actively use both of them, screams sociopath and serial killer to me. I'm sorry, it does. It's weird. It's weird. It's different if you have a backup page because one of your pages was cut off or whatever, or blocked. But you actively use both of them? That is weird.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man.
That's weird.
I've seen somebody the other day that had 7 Facebook pages.
I'm not friends with all 7 of y'all.
3 of them. And I was just like, damn, how do you have time to keep up with that?
Because you have nothing else going on in your life. You obviously can't. I can barely keep up with my one. And you mean to tell me you have... Now, I was going to say people who don't use their real names on Facebook, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, don't.
Because I'm
don't,
not going to
yeah,
call them out.
Don't do that one.
But it's like people who make posts and all they do is shit on other people, put themselves up here. And I'm like, but I know you in real life. I could blow up this whole spot right now with 2 sentences.
Yeah.
No receipts needed. Yeah. But I don't know. That just, y'all be careful what you post. Because people know
yeah, be careful, man. You don't have to put all your business.
You don't have to put all your business out there. You can't put your business out there for people to scrutinize. And they'd be mad when people want to comment on your personal business. But we would know if you wouldn't put it out there. I mean, I'm just saying. Sorry, that just...
So let me say something real quick. I'm going to jump in. Let me just say, man. So y'all know T-Pain is supposed to be coming to Dallas, right?
Y'all have to, because he made a whole TikTok on
He made a whole TikTok about how Dallas not supporting him, Dallas not coming out, whoop-de-wop, right? So I was like, okay, so I'm going to go get some meet and greets, and I'm going to talk to Pain myself.
You need to talk to Teddy.
And be like, say, man, I told you we going to come out. So how about I'm only able to buy 1 meet and greet ticket?
We got 1 meet and greet ticket. Who's going to meet and greet T-Pain?
So you mean one of us going to have to be in general admission and the other going to be meet and greet and all in the VIP over there kicking it with Pain?
We can't do that.
So Pain, come on, what's up, baby?
Come on,
talk to me, man.
Call to action, protectors of peace. Tag T-Pain, let him know in Dallas. I don't know about them other niggas, but we support Teddy.
So, man, look, if you really want people to come out, man, do some other meet and greets, baby.
Man, I mean, listen, I don't care about them other people. Open up just 1 more ticket.
Just give me 1 more, man. I pay for it. I ain't saying give it to me free. I pay for this
money
shit.
good. But my thing is like, we're a couple and we're getting married, but we are still carving out of the budget to pay for meet and greet.
And you gonna shortchange me on the ticket.
And we can only buy 1 ticket. Open up just 1 more.
Shortchange me on the ticket.
Please tag T-Pain, because we both are big T-Pain fans. Big T-Pain fans. And I would really hate for him to be able to go meet T-Pain, and I'm in the general admission.
Ain't nobody gonna meet him because I ain't going if she ain't going. So shit,
So where the ticket gonna go? Come on, Teddy. We been bought tickets.
Shout change.
But that's okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yes, please. Protectors of peace. Help your girl and your
So
boy
tell them
out.
where you can find us at, though.
You can find us on Instagram at Jay and Hater Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Jay Duce.
And you can find your boy Lord Hater.
And then also on Facebook. And then also on YouTube. We're doing reviews now. We said we was going to do reviews.
You can see our mugs all on the screen.
Right. So, and if you have anything that you want us to review or any topics that you want us to talk about, you can also email us at jayandhater@gmail.com.
That's right.
So that is it for this week. Thank you guys for always tuning in and listening to our BS. Again, if you have any suggestions or comments or concerns, you can always reach out to us. Let us know what you think, what ideas you have, things that you want us to talk about. And other than that, you guys stay safe out there. There's still a panorama going on, whether people talk about it or not. And you know what we say at the end of every episode. You know it. As always, if you don't do nothing else, protect your peace. Bye, guys.